Yes. Back again. Coffee Break with JN is back again with a little new Jack Swang. Coffee Break with JN. Caffeines, you know who you are, caffeines. Friends and regulars, not decaf. Going off, not too hard, pause. Not too soft. Well, hello. Guys, well, hello. Welcome back to the future. Welcome back to Coffee Break with JN. Hey, good day, mate. All right, so it look hello, governor. It looks like I put the wrong date on the thing. Well, you showed up anyway. I hope anybody was confused. Plus a move. What up, Tio Michael? Mike, what did you think of It Ain't Hard to Tell this week? In Australia, it's 24/7. Well, hello. Guys, let me clear my screen. Let me clear my throat. Oh, guys, welcome back to the program. I am your humble host, Jamar Nicholas. JN, if you prefer. I have many nicknames, but I am also known as Philadelphia's favorite son and also the grand poobah of indie comics, and also your internet best friend. Um, let's see who showed up tonight. Yeah, okay. On the night shift. Mm, mm, mm. Mike, do you watch the program or do you listen to the MP3? Um, so I am referring to my yo, what up? What up, Ronaldo? I'm referring to my other project because if you're about your business and you know how JN gets down, I have several ventures. I consider myself somewhat of a podcaster. Can somebody please give me the Norman Osborn line so I can stop messing it up? I fancy myself a bit of a podcaster, or whatever he says to Pete and Harry when he drops them off at college or high school. I'm sorry. Um, I don't know how this happened, you guys, but I have several podcasts, um, and so we have, and this is what we affectionately call the JNN Jamar Nicholas Network. Because of this network of things, which includes a lot of my friends and associates, I spread my special kind of uh, edutainment across the internet, and they all kind of feel the same pause, but they're all a little different. So let's kind of run them down. So we have Pencil to Pencil with myself, Mike Manley, and Stone Cold Steve Conley. We have Coffee Break with JN, which is what you're watching right now. We have It Ain't Hard to Tell, or IAHTT, my Ask Me Anything fortnightly podcast with superstar comics artist Michael Hawthorne. Then, if you want to go deeper and deeper, behind my Patreon, I have Morning Constitutional. I did do a Constitutional this week. And the Morning Constitutionalist video series where I kind of get the week started and I tell you what's going on in the studio, what's kind of on my plate. And I ask how you, yes, you are doing out in your world. And maybe we can compare notes and maybe we can make some change happen in this world. Right? I stopped counting. Uh, then I have a couple other different little things that I do on the Patreon. Um, some are art related, like Ashy Stream. And I know a lot of people stand for Ashy Stream. Ashy Stream is my only drawing stream. I'm something of a. Is that it? Okay, it's you know what? It's the I'm something of that messes me up. If I could just get I'm something. All right, that's it. Thank you, Ronaldo. I'm something of a podcaster myself. I'm gonna put a star in that so I never forget it. Um, and also, and I haven't done one of these in years. This was kind of more of a pandemic thing. I was doing "Thank you for having me" on the Patreon. And "Thank you for having me" is my one-on-one Charlie Rose, Dick Cavett interview thing where it's just me and one other person, and we just kind of, I delve deep into the minds of the creative. And I mean, that's a lot, right? And some people are like, I can't do one thing. Well, it is a blessing and a curse, but it is a burden that I carry. So I'll ask you guys who are familiar with the JNN More Nicholas Network, what is your favorite video project that I do? Let me know and we can talk about it. Yay, yo, pause. No, that's I'm not doing that. Yo, that's suspect. And while we're getting that information together, let's do a roll call. Let's see who showed up tonight. Let's see who's in the Chizat. Yo, I see Tio Michael. Thank you for your service. What up, Tio Michael? I see. I can't pronounce that. Abe Amidra. Hello. Is this your first time watching Coffee Break with Jay? And if it is, you're in for a treat. I say Ronaldo. What's up, Ronaldo? How was the World Cup for you? And who else? What up, Sean Chai? Hello, hello. And is that it? I think that's it. I think that's it. That's it. All right. So, Tio Michael, what's your favorite thing? Pencil to pencil, and then we do a deep dive. Draw and jaw. And draw and jaw is when all three of the hosts on Pencil to Pencil draw stuff on the live cast, and we kind of swap the screens around so you can kind of take a peek at what everybody's working on. Uh, and I'll say as well. That's funny. I can't say that Ashy Stream is my only drawing thing because now I do draw and jaw, and draw and jaw kind of fills a really good spot for Pencil to Pencil. And I can't really say how the other guys feel, but sometimes it's like I have to kind of like get my act together to want to draw, right? Not like I need like a muse or something, but it's kind of like if I'm already tired and it's like, what are we doing this week? And I'm just like, uh, you know, firing up Clip Studio Paint doesn't really, energize me. It's kind of like, oh, I don't want to mess up and look bad on camera. Let me just try to do something. But the one that works for me is Ask the Cartoonist, and that's kind of easy. I can just run my mouth. Anybody else like to share what their favorite JNN Jamar Nicholas Network programming is? I'm something of an artist. I'm something of an artist myself. We're gonna have to add that to the JNN lexicon. That's almost like he can't see without his glasses. He can't see without his glasses. which is one of my favorite joints. Ronaldo keys in with, "Oh, what up, Big Red? Good to see you, my friend." Oh, there's a hold on. It's like all of a sudden there's like, oh, I gotta adjust my screen. Like I'm not seeing. So, there you go. Sunshine said stuff. Oh, okay, got you, Abby. Abby, is that? Oh, Abby. Okay. All right, Sunshine. I got you. Ronaldo says Spain deserved to win, but the final was kind of blah. Argentina tried to thug the game up and then embarrass themselves after losing. Oh, I saw that. Weren't Argentinian fans like trying to like fist fight people in the street? It ain't hard to tell is chef's kiss as the kids do now. It's peak. It's funny. I was at a event with my family. I had a family reunion last week out of town, you guys. And I don't really have much to say about that. It was nice, but uh, you kind of everybody is in the same space. You kind of see how much of a how much of a weirdo you are when you're kind of like faced with everybody else. Like I am totally like a one of these things is not like the other when I walk into a room. And I think part of that is that after I'm in my 50s now, after a long time on this marble, I am supremely confident in who I am. And I couldn't always say that. Like not to say I was trying on personas. I never really did that, but I was just kind of like, it's kind of, I don't, I got to make sure like, and now I'm just like, whoa. And either I was talking to some young people or I was just kind of like riffing and talking about like internet stuff like Peak and all that other kind of stuff. And somebody's like, "How do you know all that stuff?" And it's weird to say, "Oh, I spend all my waking time on the internet." But also, it's just engaging with young people and youth culture and all that other kind of stuff. Kind of like Pokemon. I don't actively use Pokemon. Like I don't play Pokemon. I don't collect Pokemon cards. Even though I'm a video game dude, and I have a bunch of Pokemon games. I've never beat one or got far in it, but I respect the lore. I respect the world building. The design of the stuff is dope. I get it, and I'll say that for a lot of pop culture stuff. I get it, and I think a lot of people don't, not necessarily don't get it, but they are not spending their time drinking the stuff in. And probably like if you have kids, your kids come home saying some gibberish like 6, 7. You're like, will you just go do your homework? And I don't want to hear your garbage. But I have the benefit of keying into these things and cataloging them. Shai is going to get an award from me one day. Shai says regarding drawing on camera and trying to produce the show, because you're also not just drawing; you're drawing performatively and having a conversation. I love seeing you guys work, but totally understand it's hard. I have constantly turned down invitations for similar shows because it's too much. It's a lot. Thank you. It is a lot. Fatih Sports Ball. Yo, dollar dollar bill, y'all. Shout out to Bill O'Donnell. What's up, bro? Uh, Big Red says, all of it. Pencil to pencil, coffee break, wait on a comic book diner reunion. Well, if we could get Gallagher and Faber in one space, would love to do that. That'd be fun. Hello, 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 governor. Bill says, never delved into the realm of the silver or OGs. Were we talking about comic books? Joe says, well, back in the olden days, we absorbed random facts easily since we had less distractions. Yes. And I've talked a lot about, when kind of like the griots or like the storytellers or the lore keepers start to die off, we lose some of our culture. It's funny because, as a lot of you guys know, and I've converted some of you guys over the years, I've been a giant MF Doom fan since the essence, and I wish I kept the list, but I converted. It's almost like I was knocking on doors in 2000 and going, "Do you have time to hear the gospel of MF Doom?" And they're like, "What? What are you talking about? What's with this dude in the mask?" Like, and now that he's dead and has been gone for a while, now you're seeing these young people discover him, and they totally don't get a lot of the stuff he's saying. They like the rhyme patterns and the rhyme schemes and the 3, 4, 5 couplets or whatever, the mechanics of rhyming or rapping or however his rap style was. But they don't get half the shit he's saying because it doesn't make any sense to them because there's no context. And we're almost all of us Gen Xers are like the what was it in the Transformers movie, the Transformers who lived on the junk planet, the Junkions or whatever. Pause with Junkions who learned their language from watching TV. And dude would say like "Presto Changeo," uh, you know, will eliminate even the toughest stains while you wait. Operators are standing by, and I get all of that. That's Gen X. We get all that. We only had 6 channels. We all saw the same stuff. We all saw these stupid commercials. Cal God, take me away. And Doom mixed a lot of that stuff up in his raps, and it was great. And now, people like him, George Carlin, people who just like kept the stuff, and then once they're gone, they're not getting they're not getting renewed. They're not getting reincarnated. Oh, this is a second wave. Yo, hold on. Guys, get your cups out. Get your pinkies out. I have not seen JRD in months. JRD made the program. He deserves a sipper. Guys, I'm trying to find it. Get your sippers up. Sip of coffee for no, notorious. Yo, what did I do with my coffee? Oh shit. No. Notorious, free us. JRD. So wait, what did it? Hold on, guys. I'm getting confused. I got too many buttons. JRD says, anyone else having problems logging on to YouTube? No. Yo, what up, Angel? Good to see you. Sipper. Zimzima. Who's got the keys to my Beamer? Tio, Mike says, the chemistry between you and Hawthorne or Manley? I'm assuming you're saying Hawthorne. It's awesome. Thank you. As the lore goes, and anybody that's been watching this stuff kind of knows that Hawthorne and I have been buds for a long time. We kind of came into comics around the same time, and he's a good dude. He's always been a solid guy, and he's all about family, and he has like super high integrity, and he doesn't have time for bullshit, and it's refreshing. And as many weirdo motherfuckers I've been around this business, Hawthorne has always been 100%. And he's a family man, and he's about his bread and about his family and his friends and his circle's real close, and I respect that. And there's not a lot of people like that. So if you have people like that in your crew, keep them close. So, but yeah, thank you, man. And sometimes, and it's hard to tell, almost feels like therapy because like I start to show off talking about what's going on with me. And I also respect that Mike thinks the world of me, and it's cool that you have friends that validate you, which is awesome. Oh, Pokemon colors, yeah. So, even though I don't play Pokemon, but I know all about it. I know the first two cartridges are red and blue, and then people are like, "Yo, but where's Pikachu?" Like the cartoon, and they made yellow. And yellow is you start off with Pikachu, so it's like the closest to the cartoon. And then every generation they make another two cartridges. So it's like Soul Silver and Heart Gold and X and Y and Black and White 2 and blah 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 blah. And the deepest pause I ever got into Pokemon was on my DS, and I got Pokemon Black and really got into it till I got stuck. Like I was like, oh, okay, I don't think I did this right. And but I was really into it, and then I put it down. But I get it, and I love how fresh that world is. JRD says about my comic book diner pals. Uh, John Gallagher is all over the place so much he nearly occupies two places at once. Hey, I'm not too far behind him, man. Uh, Tio Mike says the way you play off each other in pencil to pencil is also great. Oh, so we're talking about both of the mics. Thank you. Yeah, and also what I love about pencil to pencil, and I said this a million times. The way pencil to pencil started, it was Manly, Brett Blevins, and myself. And then Brett kind of backed off. And then I think for like the rest of the pandemic, it was Mike and I. And that was around the time when Manly and I were doing like 2 episodes a week, and there wasn't like there weren't any guardrails on it, and we'd have like 3-hour episodes. Like we had Walt and Wheezy Simonson on, and I think that was even before we were on YouTube. So like, don't go look because it's not there. We probably did 6 months or something like that, maybe almost a year. And JRD would know. He's a keeper of the scrolls of pencil to pencil on Facebook before I think I got StreamYard, and then we started, and I got a YouTube account, and all that happened. But that period of time, remember the verses uh, things, and just people are just trying to keep themselves entertained over the lockdown, and we would like just have these episodes, and finally I'd start like nodding off. I'm like, all right, we gotta call it, and sometimes the guests were like, what? It's what? We gotta stop. Yeah, I can't. I want to do this anymore. So when Stone Cold came in, he really helped with the balance of the show. He helps with having another expert opinion because Conley has a pedigree in this business, and he's like one of the I think he's one of the pillars of web comics. He's too humble to talk about it, but he was doing daily color motion web comics before people were doing that stuff. You know, Conley was around before PvP. He was around before Penny Arcade. Like he's been in the trenches for a long time, and he knows what he's talking about. So I think the three of us make a really good pair. What is it live for the aviator that what's her face? Catherine Hepburn says, "What a pair! You're hard of hearing, and I sweat a lot." That's right, rest in power. I don't think so. Thank you, Joe. That's really great. Yeah, Conley doesn't he add such a great like shake of everything seasoning to the show? And also because he is very savvy with the tech stuff. And I told you he was like the sixth man even before he was on the show because he made the pencil to pencil graphic, like with the two hands. And I guess the way this works is that Manley sketched it out and then Conley finished it. So, even him kind of creating our thumbnail and it's a template and it just everything looks real profesh and we just swap it out every week and keep going. It's just kind of streamlined the show to a point where it's I don't want to say easy, but it makes it almost effortless. Jardi says Steve was my first call when I moved from retailer to creator. Yeah, see. Yeah. Shout out to Steve. Yo, the Waringos just checked in. Bing bong. If Matt is in the chat, then Suze cannot be far behind. Well, hello, Matt Waringo. No, Stone Cold didn't create Kakank. I created Kakank. Or you mean that the graphic? No, actually, one of my I had an intern. One of my interns made that animated graphic. She was like really good at animating stuff. And if any of you guys have, oh, do I have it? Maybe I have it right here. Hold on a second. She also made, is it here? Yeah. She also made my Running Leon uh, GIF from a long time ago. Uh, it was really dope. So, but yeah, so the Kink transitions, my intern did, and that was really dope. But the Kink, I made that up because I'm a goofball. Yo, got some classic 80s Sixers. Conley is the Bobby Jones to you and Manley's Moses and the Doctor. Yeah, I like that. I'll be Dr. J with the finger roll pause. Um, so I have, I'm glad JRD's here because he kind of triggered me earlier today and I got to find it. Where is, okay, here it is. And you guys have to forgive me. I'm a little tired today, but we're going to get through this because it's good stuff. Um, so a couple of was this months ago? I can't remember. One of our coffee breaks, I was talking about my kind of internet crush on this guy, this author who does all of these. Hey, did you ever notice reels on TikTok? Who's an author, and I forward his stuff all the time, not because he's like brilliant or whatever, but it's just like stuff you probably didn't think about. And if you guys remember this, I talked about when. Do you remember that moment in time in our timeline when all of a sudden people started buying water? Like you bought, you as Ronaldo will attest, we drink. You didn't drink water out of a thing and having a case of 42 waters on the in the mud room in your house, and you cracked one out. Pause. It had a cool water. You drank water out the water fountain in the hallway at school, right? Or you put your face under the tap in the house, and going to the store and buying a bottle of water was just like you're buying water. Water's free, and here we are. So that's kind of also where we started talking about. Oh, jeez. Uh, and hold on a second. I'm like having problems with the chat here. Um, that's right. Suze is in the building. Hose water any day. So hold on, I gotta share this. Let me make sure I can find it. I don't think I did this right. Sorry, you guys. I'm creeping today. Notorious JRD came out of the mist, and he sent me something, and I was like, this is gonna be what we do tonight. He sent me this. Oh, I gotta clear the screen. I gotta clear the screen. Can you guys see this? Is this the whole thing? Am I doing it right? Oh, it seems to be like top heavy. There you go. That's better. Somebody made H2 hose drinking water. H2 hose. Holla. Yo, that's incredible. So, that's on the Amazon? So, like, talk amongst yourselves, like, "Yo, what is even happening?" Now, is this just a clever marketing device? Do you think it really is hose water? Discuss. I hazard to think that's well, also check out the design, it looks like a garden hose. Oh, no. It's not legit unless it has a hose for is this from Onion.com? I hope not. Um, so, beyond this just being weird and funny, I also wanted to ask you guys because, we need to do some polling. Pause. Um, how many of you guys are buying, like, what are your water habits? Yo, Matt, pause. The wink gets you every time. Um, what are your water purchasing habits? And maybe we'll do a ones and twos. And I'm going to need you guys to help me because I'm going to forget this the minute I say this stuff. So the first ones and twos of the night, you guys, is and if you haven't done this before, ones and twos is when we use the chat feature to in our keyboards or phones to type numbers into the chat to correlate with what I'm asking you. So this is about your water consumption. Do you put a one in the chat if you primarily drink water from your sink? And that can be you fill up a Brita or you have a filter on your sink, John. But the majority of the water that you consume comes out of your sink in some fashion. That put a one in the chat. Put a two in the chat if you only drink water you bought from the store. So that could be bottled water. That could be, and you can be a brand loyalist. Um, and that could also okay. Hmm. I'm also going to include like gimmick canned waters like death, liquid death, and all that other kind of stuff. Do you buy water from the store? That also includes if you have a sparklet fountain thing, like a you know spigot thing in your house. Put a three in the chat If you only drink seltzer or have like a soda stream or something like that in your house, that's 3. Um, I guess that's enough. Yeah. So 1 is house water, 2 is bought, and 3 is seltzer. And let's discuss. Yeah. So Bill says, "Does Brita home filter count as 1?" Yes, that was one of the first things I said. You can put so it's from your sink, and I'll just leave it like that. Or if you live in Flint, Michigan, maybe you're not doing any of that. So Ronaldo says, "Hose H2 hose." Hold on, they should put me on the marketing team because you know what their their brand slogan should be? "Where the hose at?" You know, they show somebody going into the food Wookie or the supermercado, and they go to the clerk. "Yo, excuse me, sir." "Yes." "Where the hose at?" "Right this way." Uh, oh, Propel. You know, I didn't think of that. Um, Propel, that's bought. So I was going to say something about flavored waters, but I just put that in the bought. Sean Chai says my tap water is yellow. Wow! So I buy the cheapest drinking water I can find. Ugh. So Joe is tap. Tio Mike is bought. Matt is bought. Sorry, this is. Ugh. You know, sometimes I'm doing really well with the chat feature, and sometimes I'm struggling. I'm struggling tonight. It's like not keeping up with me. All right, hold on. Matt is bought. Brita counts as 1. Ooh, Crystal Light. Somebody said Crystal Light is, what did they say? Kool-Aid for old black folks. Yeah, I believe in Crystal Light because I believe in me. I used to have a problem. I drank so much Crystal Light. I think it might have been calcifying my organs. So I kind of gave Crystal Light up, but I enjoyed it. I see what you did there. So, but yeah, I mean, if you don't have safe running tap water, then I get it. Joe says, or bottled water and granola in lunch bags to give guys on the corner or intersection. Jody's a little one in seltzer. Sunshine says, until this place, I always drink tap water with a Brita filter. Can't wait to be able to do that again. Shout out to drinking water. It says best served cold, just like the hose. The hose knows best. Bill says 1 and then be bougie 3 with a soda stream with the home water. I have a soda stream, but it's funny about the soda stream. I don't use any of the soda syrup gimmicks. Like I'll just do the John, right? And that's another thing I gave up. I kind of gave up soda. I didn't have an event or anything like that. I was just kind of like, stop drinking it. Because I used to really like Coke Zero. And we've been doing coffee breaks so long, or maybe it was on Facebook. Do you remember when Coke Zero was doing its thing and then they announced that they were going to stop making Coke Zero and people started hoarding it? And then they changed the name to Coke Zero Sugar. But, they didn't tell you that when they said they're discontinuing the line. But Coke Zero just tastes a lot better than Diet Coke. And I know people who are like, diet, meh. But yeah, like if you kind of step back and realize how much straight sugar is in a can of Coca-Cola, you wouldn't drink that either. But they also say that the stuff at Diet is worse than the can't win. Tio Mike says, when I left New York, the water on the Midwest tasted like dirt. In Florida, it tastes like seawater. So bottled for me. Whenever I get home to Brooklyn, I drink tap water or the filtered fridge dispenser. Oh, I didn't think about fridge water. That's still, I think that's tap. Yo, E, what up, E? One at work, two at home, due to an issue with our well. Huh. Probably will go back to the well water soon, though, as it seems to be cleared up now. I didn't even think about well water. I'm such a city boy. Ronaldo says, I drink them all. I like seltzer lately, but I'll drink my own tap, and we get bottled as well. That's true. In my sister channel, Sister Soldier, we are at war. Crystal lighted her purse. Nice. Sean says, I worked in marketing at the time. The constant change of the Coke Zero name caused me problems. Yeah. They didn't really tell you. And but you know what? I don't like Pepsi. I'm not a Pepsi guy. Pe- Pepsi Max tastes funky. But again, I don't really drink soda like that anymore. A shout out to the South. Shout out to VA in North Cackalack with cheer wine. Shout out to the Waringos who hooked me up with a surplus of cheer wine a couple of years ago. Bill says, neither did we, but I did make the mistake of adding Crystal Light directly after SodaStream, which then caused a volcano explosion. Was that kind of like putting Mentos in your Coke? Ronaldo says, I bought a Coke Zero by accident, and it's pretty tasty. Not much different than the full 95 octane. You drink at 87. CJRD always coming with that science. Announcing a discontinuation is better than announcing a rebrand, as folks will hoard and buy up remaining stock so you don't have to destroy product and lose. I just you know what? The name of my new podcast is Just Ask JRD. You can have that one. Bill says outside the U.S., the zero sugar thing was way more popular than the diet brands. And you know, maybe it's just a psyop, but you know, even Diet Mountain Dew was manageable. What and Diet Mountain Dew is gamer fuel, as we know. But when I worked overnights at the security desk, I used to get a. I used to get a. I was some of my favorite nights when I went in, if I had time, because I was always like not late, but I was like right on the edge there. I would I would stop at the 7-Eleven, and it was great when it was like the end of the month or whenever new magazines would come out, and I would load up on magazines. Having fresh magazines was the best thing to come into work with. It's just like hours of entertainment. I used to cop maybe I cop a Wizard magazine, the Source. Um, I stayed away from those like booty magazines. Not what you're thinking about, but like remember the that era in the early '90s or whenever that was. Yeah, like the early '90s when like Maxim magazine, like Guy magazine started coming out. And I have a whole side story. I'll tell you another time. When an early eBay, I was I don't wanna say I was making a lot of money, but I had a little bit of an enterprise going selling Maxim magazines because I was collecting them, and then all of a sudden people are like, "Yo, I can't find the Alyssa Milano issue," and like, you know, whatever. But, you know, I'm getting all over the place. But I would get like the tall boy at Evian and maybe 2 diet Mountain Dews and just stash them in my fridge at the job, and that would get me through my shift. Speaking of water, oh yeah, we grew up on a bore and tapped into the water a bottling plant down the mountain used. I always love telling people we showered in the water they were paying to. Yeah, bad stories. I love it. Yes, didn't I say Maxim? Yeah. Well, I mean, there were a bunch of other magazines like that came out around that time. I mean, later, I think it was like Stuff or Stuff magazine and Maxim and um, Yeah, those were cool. FHM, yes. Oh wow. Sean Choi says there was this conspiracy theory when they moved away from sugar, they deliberately made it bad till all the old stock had run out and everyone hated the new version. Then they could bring back the classic, which was a different recipe, but it had been so long no one could tell. Man, I believe everything you say. That's crazy. I believe it because nobody, those guys are just about their coin. And if they can kind of hoodwink you into believing whatever they do, they'll do it. Um, yo, that was a whole personality for a minute. And this was also kind of this weird period of time where that wasn't that kind of like the era of the white dude with a soul patch in Dawson's Creek in rollerblades and Jinko jeans, and it was probably like the last gasp of macho ness, macho whatever, like before we got into toxic masculinity. It was like here's a whole magazine on how to be a guy, like how to they would have like the illustrated sidebars of like how to fend off a bear attack, how to live off of cans of beans in the wilderness for 6 months. Hey, yo. Uh, Bill says there was a rebrand of Sierra Mist, a Starry, yeah. Then Pepsi went insane with all the variants of Mountain Dew, including Dirty Dew, aka Cream Soda Dew, Dirty Dew in the building. JRD, oh yeah. No, is that how we're measuring the timeline? That's crazy. Yo, Suze has the T. So what it sounds like is Starry happened because somebody forgot to save the domain name. Wah, wah. Ricky, you're fired. That's crazy. Pink Mountain Dew in the building. Yo, what up, Jeff? Good to see you, brother. Real sugar Mountain Dew or bust. Isn't that kind of like there's something really special about a Mexican Coke? Not Mexican Coke. A Mexican Coca-Cola in a bottle. It's just I think that's got like different. Well, it's got like straight cane in there, right? Oh yeah, that was crazy. Like, and I've heard since that that's starting to die off. In Japan, uh, the Kit Kato, they have different variations of the Kit Kat that they don't have here. And sometimes you've seen some of them. They kind of bleed over here. Like they had like matcha flavored, but the times I was in Tokyo, they had like 8 or 9 different joints, and at the airport, you could get a gift box, and they even had, like, seasons of it, like, this was I remember my favorite was rum raisin, and then when I got over here and I still had some connects, I was like, "Yo, can you bring back some Japanese Kit Kats?" And now they're real hard to get, and I don't know if it's still rocking like that. Yeah, Oreo Oreo can let it go. But they've somehow stayed the test of time. I gotta give them that for, like, trying to be innovative. Doritos. Wait, I don't know what Doritos are. Is that Mexican Coke? I think I got lost. Alright, let me clear the screen. Oh, wow. See, JRD, man. JRD says, "If I remember right, the most Japanese Kit Kat flavors at one time were 32." Wow. In Sao Paulo, they had Kit Kat cafe stores and their own flavors of Romeo and Juliet, which was cheese and guava jelly. Ooh. Ooh, let's see if I can find that. and we need to start wrapping up. But if Sue's is still awake, we'll do the John. Oh wow, they still have them. Oh, maybe I don't want that. Yeah, let's look at this. Let me see if I can cue this up. Yeah, this is what I want. Hold on, you guys. Yo, your H Mart has Kit Kats, Japanese Kit Kats. The H Marts around me, Bill, don't have any of that stuff. All right, I'm going to remove this, and I am going to close that, and I'm going to open this, and we are going to share screen. All right, can you guys see this? This is if you want some eBay Kit Kats, Japanese Kit Kat mini bars, all different flavors. So this is almost all of the brands, but don't be fooled. These aren't full blown Kit Kats. These are like little joints, right? So don't get it twisted. Um, and the reason I showed you this is because at the bottom of this listing, they put the flavors. Imported directly from Japan, ships from USA, usually same or next business day. 33 pieces, all different unique flavors, including but not limited to, ready? Light matcha, matcha, dark matcha, roasted matcha. I'm gonna sake, onsen. this tastes like this tastes like a bathtub. This tastes like bathtub water. This tastes like the hot springs. Sweet potato, lychee, white chocolate with corn flakes. Yo, salty lemon. Pause. Right, there's my girl rum raisin. Oh, red beans. Mont Blanc. Have any of you guys ever seen these before? Here's another one. I don't know if it's the same thing. Sandalwood. Oh no. Oh, I lost the I lost this I lost the John. But yeah, I don't know. Here you go. Jared D says Kit Kats are still big in Japan. Also, shout out to the what was it the what was it called? The yellow bananas or something? They have this kind of treat that they're like bland Twinkies. And they look like Twinkies, but inside there's like banana filling, and they're not really tasty. There's something banana. I'm forgetting all my my Japanese stuff. Uh, he says the sake Kit Kats are pretty good. It has the alcohol content listed. There's actually, yeah, like the rum raisin's got some rum in it. The strawberry cheesecake isn't great. Yeah. Jared D says red beans. Is there a rice flavor so we can? That's like Popeye's red beans and rice Kit Kat. But there was a minute, man, where I was like importing that stuff, and I kept them in my candy jar. Or back when I worked at the art office, and I would bring them in and have the work study kids try them. It was fun, but then I was like, why am I sharing my shit with y'all? This stuff's expensive. Huh, Ronaldo says I read this crazy article about bananas, and it explained why banana flavoring and things doesn't taste. Tokyo bananas. That's what it's called. Thank you. Bill says the fun Brazil only flavor lately was cherry vanilla. Huh. Let me see if I can find. That's the last time I was there. Somebody was like, I would say things like, "What what can I bring back for you? And somebody was like, "Ooh, get me Tokyo bananas." And I was like, "All right." And then I got them, and they're like, "Ugh." It's crazy that eBay has all this stuff. So here, I'm gonna share the screen again. And it was interesting because you couldn't like, you found all this stuff in the airport. Like, I couldn't find it when I was just, like, walking up and down the street. Yep, there you go. Uh, yeah, so it's a very elegant box with, like there's, like, 8 or 12, depends on, what size you get. And they're To Tokyo Banana, Japan's number 1 souvenir sponge cake with banana custard cream gift. Yo, pause. Yo, it's me. It's DDP. Uh, except except no substitutes. So it's kinda like these look good, and they weren't cheap, but they weren't good. Yo, shout out to Flower Boy. What up, Flower Boy 4872? Did you ever have a full-time job while cartooning? If so, how did you balance your art and work life? Oh, well, that's cool. I got a real question. Um, yeah, so thanks for that. I worked my whole adult life, and I've always had a full-time job or a part-time job with full-time responsibilities. And you know how I kind of balanced everything was um, I made a lot of sacrifices, and I'm not trying to sound like brave or anything, but it's like there was a lot of time that I didn't sleep or like I did my work, and then I came home and stayed up all night to finish things. And things I realized a couple of things that happened with my art style. My art to me felt rushed. Like, I knew all these other people that had to just like elegant lines and everything, and I kind of had this not scribbly style, but it was manic, and I just had to get the stuff done. And I felt it was messy, more messy than I would have liked. Um, and the people in my life knew that this is what I'm trying to do, and they respected that for the most part. And if I had a story where I was like, "Oh man, I really want to go out to the club, but oh, I gotta go home and draw." Like my, I drew my line in the sand a long time ago. This is what I wanted to do. So some stuff just wasn't as important as the art, right? So, but that there's still a balance there, and I think I sacrificed sleep. I probably sacrificed some early relationships because like I didn't want to go be a you know you can't say goon anymore. That means something totally different now. But you just can't, be out in the street like that. It's like you got to pick one. So I also missed a lot of television. I was just kind of focused on my stuff and doing my thing. Um, it was doable, but you really have to make a decision, and you can't please everybody around you. There's a lot of times we just have to say no. I'm not available. We're going to go see Spider Man. I got to get these pages done. If I get my pages done, I'll come with you. But if not, I'll have to see it another time. Oh yeah. So that's kind of how my thing went. Thanks for that question. Chicken snack time. Yeah, Big Joe says, "Yeah, you, Mike Hawthorne, Mike Manley, Colleen Doran. You gotta. It's real. It's sacrifice, And I don't. I wouldn't change anything, but that's just kind of how it works. All right, it's getting late. Let's wrap this up. Let's bring Suze to the dance floor. Suze, are you still here? I believe you're still here. Let's get our shoes pose ready, you guys. Um, and I think we're going to chip tonight. How's that sound? Man, I can never find this. I think I'm going to go to bed after this because I'm like totally fried. All right. I put my hand upon your chip, then I dip, you dip, we dip. Sue's pose. Freeze frame Sue's pose. um, that was fun. What a weird show we had tonight, you guys. It was funny. Like it was kind of I love it, Super. Um, I think it was kind of low key, and we got some mileage off of the H2 hose. Yo, how many of y'all put H2 hose in your Bezos cart? Don't lie. You can be honest with me. I want to know. Um, and Flower Boy, I hope I answered your question. Let me know if I did or not. So as we start to wrap up, this is my part of the show where I get to talk about stuff that's going on. Guys, did you know? Did you know? Did you know? Beyond me being your favorite internet host with I usually say smiling angelic countenance on pencil to pencil, but I happen to have a charisma of 16 with a +3 modifier. That means I'm pretty irresistible. I'm just saying. Beyond all these cool things as being your favorite host and also being your internet best friend, I also am a pretty dyed in the wool graphic novel creator for kids. I have a middle grade graphic novel series at Scholastic. Perhaps you've heard of Leon the Extraordinary. This is the next book in my series, Leon and the Big Big Problem, out in stores January 2027. This is your perfect time to go pre-order. Chat, tell me if you pre-ordered this yet. Did you pre-order it yet? I hope you pre-ordered it yet. Tell me, did you pre-order it yet? If you didn't, you go pre-order it. Tell your mans and then to pre-order it. But that's for the that's for the future. But what's right now is that you've seen me in these very uh, uh, exciting and important circles of other creators. Right there, I am in the middle. Right there, I am in the spotlight, losing my religion. Right, and then here I am again with the best and brightest at Scholastic. Is that Jeff Smith sitting next to me? Yeah, the bone guy. Pause. There he is, right there. Is that Raina down there? Yup. Um, so there's another pairing that's happening. Not next week, but the week after that. I'll be in Columbus, Ohio, celebrating the Rubens uh, Conference and Awards. Because a lot of you know that I'm deeply involved in the National Cartoon Society, and there are a lot of Scholastic folks that are up for Cartoonist of the Year. One of those people is my very close friend Dave Pilkey. Yeah, that Dave Pilkey. Yeah, Dog Man Dave Pilkey. Yeah, Captain Underpants Dave Pilkey. Yeah, that's him and me right there. Look, that's real. That's not AI. That's not Photoshop. That's real. Is going to be there. Also, my good buddy Raina Telgemeier is up for Cartoons of the Year. She's going to be there. And because this is such a, a like a big deal, like I think, especially now that San Diego Comic Con's going on right now, people are like, ooh, the Eisners. But, the Rubens is a very important accolade. Um, so I wanted to share this with you real quick. Let me stop my screen. Share this. So at the end of the Rubens weekend, I will be in concert, almost literally in concert with these superstars of Scholastic. Look, there I am, right there, right there. What up? What? Are you kidding? At a ticketed event where you get to see all five of these Scholastic folks present, and then there will be a book signing and all that other kind of stuff. It's very exciting. Dave doesn't do a lot of U.S. appearances. Raina doesn't do a lot of appearances these days. I'll go to the opening of an envelope. I'm not proud. I'll do it. My good buddy Maria Scrivan's going to be there. Jim Benton, you know Happy Bunny, Catwad, yeah, all of those folks. They're right there on your video scope. How cool is it that I am part and parcel with this lineup? We will be in Columbus, Ohio, making your dreams come true. So, you know, I don't know what else to say. Isn't that cool? I hope you think so. I think it's cool. So, not only am I, handsome, it's actually in my name. That's what it means. Uh, Tell him, Bill, it's going to be damn amazing. That's the other part of my life besides just sitting around drinking coffee and talking to you. And let's be honest, this is just a thinly veiled infomercial for my Patreon. And hey, did you think about joining it today? Look at the join down there. You know what to do. Make it happen. This is a way that I get the word out on the stuff that I'm doing. So thank you so much for your support. Um, and if you have questions about any of that stuff or you'd like to support the studio, join a Patreon. You get to see me and Hawthorne's Ask Me Anything podcast. You get to see me draw in a whole different place. You get to see what's going on in the studio. All right, I think that's it. We ran long. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope group was good for you tonight. I'm something of a scientist myself. And tell me if you're going to go buy a case of H2Os and let me know how it tastes. Pause. All right, guys, let's say goodnight, John Boy. You know what to do. Let me get my graphics together. You've been watching Coffee Break with JN with your boy JN. Yeah, JRD, it's good to be back. Yeah, thinking I'm back. Where you got to hang out with your good friends. Yeah, Tio Michael's card is going to be crazy. H2Os and imported Kit Kats. You better get some Tums while you at it, just to balance that out. You got to hang out with the caffeines. You know who you are, caffeines, friends of regulars, not decaf of Coffee Break with JN. And we chopped it up lovely. We talked about water. We talked about drinking for the garden hose, now in your cart at Amazon. And also about following your dreams. I live by a credo. It is nothing is impossible. I believe that to be true. Look at the things I share with you. I'm not fearless. I'm afraid all the time, but you got to keep moving. You got to make stuff happen. Like my man Flower Boy asked, every day you got to get up and put your feet on the floor and say, I got to make something happen. I'm a professional of making something out of nothing every day. And you can do it too, Punchinella. All right. I have many nicknames. Some of those names you may have heard before, like John Wick, John Cena. I gotta wrap this up. Captain Scholastic. You saw the lineup, and also the captain of this ship, John Luke. Wait, what does it say? Pope John Paul, John Luke Picard. There are 4 Johns. What happened here tonight? You got to hang out with me and drink a cup of coffee and run my mouth. now that I'm out of coffee. Somebody wake up Hicks. See you on the other side, guys. Have a good weekend.